right, week 8 started off with the thriller and mostly vanilla. I mean, I was like, it was an alright game. Thursday night games, we know how this goes. Don't ever anticipate like a huge, crazy amount of game. There's it's a build, and that pretty much what happened here. I was like, I traded a couple field goals. I was like, they both were able to drop it down the field, and they both getting stopped. But Bill just kept on getting. I was like, they got like stopped, like they got stuffed on third down. And I was like, Josh Allen, which I was like, that close to the goal line, you would think they would try to do something like a quarterback sneak or have something like a read out. They did a pass and it got batted down. I was like, but the Bucs, they just got a field goal on the other end. I was like, but then once the Bills got the ball back, that was like they got it down to the red zone, and pretty much Josh Allen just basically just he ain't juke nobody. He just sort of like video gamed it where you just sort of just move enough to get the computer to commit, and then you just take yourself to the touchdown, and that's pretty much what happened. I was like he didn't really run all really today, but to be honest, the one time I guess he sort of did run before that touchdown, he really landed on his shoulder, and I was like, it didn't really impact on the rest of the game or nothing like that, like how we would imagine it would be. It would. Then after that, I was like, Bus go 3 and out. I was like, get the ball. I was like, Bill, get the ball back. Tip ball, interception for the Buccaneers. Then after that, they went down the field and they were able to score. On a really nice snag by Goodwin. I don't know how Mayfield short ass got that ball through the window, but he did. Then pretty much it was really nothing. It was really just in Bill's hands the whole time. I was like, the defense was stopping all the Bucs momentum. It's like it took them a while to really get the run game going. That's what's been struggling like most of the year. And it's like they moved the ball downfield, but it's not as smooth as it was earlier in the season. I don't necessarily know the reason necessarily why. Mike Evans hasn't really shown up here as often. Like they haven't. It seems like they sort of don't really get on the ball as much as it was overall. I don't know if that's because they want Godwin to also be in there or what. But by the time the Buccaneers woke up to try to make this a game, it was really sort of too late. They took off. It felt like 4 minutes off of the clock to go down the field, and I'm like, you sort of need to move faster than that. But they still had all their timeouts. And pretty much they had a chance at the very end, but they had a chance to stop the Bills with their timeouts, and Stephon Diggs basically do what he does, where he just finds himself to be open and got the first down, and that pretty much sealed it at that point. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Bucs was able to move like they only had like 30 seconds left or something, and they were able to move the ball down the field enough for Baker Mayfield to have one last heave, and that should have been one of those wild finishes. It should have been caught. The fact that it just landed, nobody touched it. If Godwin would have had like 2 more seconds to react, he probably would have been able to at least make an attempt at catching the ball, if not come down with it, and that could have been a totally different game at that point. But I was like, this gives the people, I guess, to be quiet at least for about a week on the Bills, just because they've been up and down. I was like, and this sort of one of their up games. Not everything was cohesive, but they calmed the waters, as everybody says. The Bucs, on the other hand, good thing they're not in a division where this is a problem. To me, I was like, it looked like it was going to be their division. Like, it should be the Saints division. Atlanta's flippy floppy, but so is the Bucs as well too. So they all sort of is in the middle of the pack. So this doesn't. I mean, yes, you want to come out with a win. So I'm not saying that's not going. It doesn't hurt them, but they're in the division race, so it's fine. I was like, their defense even though they got put 24 points on, they defense played like pretty well. Cause I was like, they had to drive the field. But I was like, the Bills on the other hand also sort of corrected their Von Miller being there. I feel like helped change it. Cause I was like, Baker Mayfield. I was like, he was over here doing some Houdini stuff on when he was escaping. But no, I think both defenses played pretty well. Cause looking at the game, I was like, the Bills haven't take that much time and drive and getting like third and longs, stuff like that. Like the defense is playing well. Just at some point, if Josh Allen's over here running and stuff like that, you got to be aware. You got to be aware of him, but then you don't know what's going on behind you, and that's how a lot of those passes were happening tonight. It's just like Josh Allen wasn't running, but he was affecting the game with his legs at the same time. But yeah, it wasn't as great as the score indicated, but hey, that's how Thursday nights go. Anyway, that's it for me. That's it for the game. We'll see how this whole week goes. Peace.